Allow me to reintroduce myself.
I was trying to get to the event like a pill does, with no intentions of ending up with the three of us.
So I started rapping when I was like 9 years old. So that's really the reason why I started paying attention to music, period. Then I started rapping, started making beats, and then it just kind of grew from then. Yeah, so I started playing around with that. I had like these Nokia headphones, like I used to just use as a microphone.
Really?
Yeah, and just record like ideas and stuff.
Nasty C is a South African born and bred rapper. Real name Nsikayesizwe David Junior Ncgobo, born on the 11th of February 1997 in Diepkloof, a township in Soweto, Johannesburg. He's famously known for being a rapper, songwriter, and a record producer. But the main question of the day, as you might have seen with the title of the video, is: is it over with Nasty C's dream of going overseas? I'd like to assume that most rappers wanna go global right after their success in the South African mainstream. Well, as said before, Nasty C was born in Diepkloof, a township in Soweto, Johannesburg. Right after the passing of his mother, who was involved in a fatal car accident when he was only 11, he relocated to Durban, KwaZulu-Natal to be raised by his father. In his early ages, at the age of 9 to be more precise, he got influenced by his older brother to become a rapper, as he learned the basics of producing music from him.
This is Nasty C, the young 15-year-old producer/rapper/songwriter.
Nasty C took his rap career to a different level at the age of 14 when he released his debut mixtape One Kid, 1,000 Coffins back in 2012. Fast forward to 2014, he released his debut EP, Lame, levitating about my enemies. He seemed so passionate about his rap career as he maintained consistency by dropping his second studio mixtape, Price City, which produced the successful single Juice Bag, which raised his prominence in the mainstream. The success of his second studio mixtape, Price City, was shown to be a real thing by being accompanied with a nomination at the South African Hip Hop Awards 2015 under the category of Best Freshman, which ended up winning. His hit single Juice Bag later spawned the Gemini Major produced remix featuring singer Davido and rapper Casper Nyovest in November 2015. At that moment, Nasty C knew that he was going to make it in the music industry, as the remix with Davido and Casper Nyovest became his breakout song.
Bow down to Davido and bow down to Casper. Heard them say stars are aligned, but they both at their time.
All he wanted to do at that point was to prove himself and cement his name in the game as one of the biggest acts under SA hip hop. Moving on to 2016, Nasty C released Hell Now, which was later revealed to be the lead single from his then upcoming album, Bad Hair. And I'd like to say, that single really built anticipation for Nasty C's then upcoming debut album. All fans wanted was to hear more of what Nasty C can offer on the mic. On the 23rd of September, he released his debut album, Bad Hair, under Mabala Noise Entertainment. Bad Hair reached #1 on the iTunes local charts and was the most streamed album within its 24 hours of release. At that moment, Nasty C was on his feet running a marathon, as his career had so much hype around it. EA, back to business. The Bad Hair album ended up getting him a nomination at the South African Hip Hop Awards 2016 under the Lyricist of the Year category. But unfortunately, he didn't take the award home. Following that, Nasty C would drop a deluxe version of his debut album later that year in December. But he decided to take a different route and not name his extended album a deluxe, but named it Bad Hair Extensions. The extended version of the album had a feature of an international artist, French Montana, which did quite really well, but I had hopes that the international feature would give him some exposure overseas. But sadly, most of his solo songs on the album did better than the one with the international artist. But I guess to him, that was his most favorable outcome, as he always wanted to feature an American-born artist.
I take a girl from the crowd. She down, she down, she down. They tryna come to the house. Allow.
In 2017, at the 16th Metro FM Awards, Nasty C was nominated under 4 categories named Best New Artist, Best Male Album, Best Hip Hop Album, and lastly, Song of the Year, where he ended up taking home all those 4 awards.
Saying I'm the jiggy jigger, yeah, I'm on it. There's not a thing I hate more than a contract. I've been killing it since I just want to thank God, man. Without God, none of this would be happening right now. None of this would be possible. And I want to make a special shout out and actually call on Reggie to the stage. If Reggie can come on stage, please.
The team and the army of Mabala Noise that I lead, that University of Music, I thank you very much. This means a lot. Nasty C, we're building a superstar here that will represent us in the whole world.
In winning many accolades for both 2016 and 2017, Nasty C received his biggest nomination, which was for the 2017 BET Award for Best International Act, Africa, where he lost to Starboy Wizkid. Fast forward to 2018, he would sign a distribution deal with Universal Music Africa in partnership with Universal Music South Africa. At that point, things seemed to be working so well for Nasty C. He was gearing up to the release of his second studio album and first album, Strings and Bling, under his new record label, Universal Music Group. He had proven his greatness and his music abilities to the South African mainstream media, and he had surely cemented his name in the game with his debut album,
Bad Hair. No, it's Bad Hair.
Stop playing It's Bad Hair.
Hey, Banna.
Oh.
Hey, Banna.
Okay.
It's Bad Hair.
The quality and success of Bad Hair raised so much anticipation for his next studio album, which he would drop in 2018. His dream of going global was not dead, but it actually motivated him to do better. In 2018, Nasty C would drop 2 singles, Jungle
I fuck who I want when I want to. Ain't no rules in the jungle.
and King, which featured an American-born rapper, Ferg. And the video of the song King was shot in New York. It was not the first time Nasty C featured a big artist. At the beginning of his career, he blew up with 2 major features, Davido and Casper Nyovest. He secured another feature with KO and AKA on Bang Out, then his biggest feature on Major Lazer's hit single, Particular, and also getting a feature from French Montana. Was that Strings and Bling, bro? Strings and Bling would then be released on 6th of July in 2018 in both digital and physical formats. It was named one of the best albums in South Africa by Time Live. The album's other singles include SMA, which is the most successful song on that album, and it featured Rollin', and the other promotional single, Gravy.
No smoke, no vape, please. Everybody with me on the same page.
But what if I tell you guys that Nasty C had songs with artists like Stilo Magolire, Tshego, Eric Rush? He has been in collaborations with numerous artists and forming close relationships with some of them, such as Gemini Major and Tellerman. Those relationships he built with Gemini Major and Tellerman went a long way in enhancing his skills and abilities musically, cause he would become a phone call away for features and for choruses and hooks. In March 2020, Billboard reported that Nasty C signed a joint venture deal with Def Jam Records with the release of the single There They Go as a debut under the label. It was reported that a huge factor in the company signing him would be all the features he's had internationally, with a hot asset in hip-hop at that time, Ferg, a pop-savvy hip-hop artist at that time, French Montana, and his more globally famous song Particular with Major Lazer. He signed the deal with Def Jam because he always wanted to make it globally, so this deal came as a blessing in disguise. This partnership would slowly see Nasty C being introduced to the US market, with reports that there were international features who would appear on the debut album he was working on at that time. Nasty C would reflect on that when he was gearing up to the release of his then upcoming third studio album, Zuluban with Some Power. He would release God Flow, which featured a young talented rapper, Crowned Young, the lead single of his then upcoming third studio album, Zuluman with Some Power. The US market just kept on declining Nasty C, even though his hit single Jack gained so much popularity in the United States. Nonetheless, to see how the feature with Ferg improved his status, he managed to get more international features, but we have to look at why acting prematurely, or rather I say, why jumping the gun most of the time doesn't work. The first apparent thing that most upcoming rappers do is go for the easiest promotion of their music, which is getting a big artist to jump on their song. And I swear that is the laziest way to do things. That's why 9 times out of 10, that strategy never works out. It's more like sending YouTube channels your work and paying for promotion to the owners. Most of the time, that strategy doesn't work as well. You might find that out of 10 people, one person might check out your music, which is quite bad. Most upcoming rappers feel like they don't have enough support from fans and from investors, which makes their journey to success even more harder. What actually boosts an artist's career? Is it a feature from a big artist or a promotion? Well, in my answer, I believe those two go hand in hand together. If you neglect promotion and go for a big feature, in most cases it might not work. And if you focus on promotion only, I can say there's a 50-50 chance. With Nasty C, he ran for his career's promotion by getting boosted by other artists with international features. Def Jam has a hand in getting Nasty C the features, not neglecting the fact that his hard work also played a huge role in that. But why did Nasty C's features with international artists become less successful than his collaboration with a local artist, Rollin? Well, it's all about catalog. An American fan only hears a song once with that particular international feature, then he or she instantly makes a conclusion about you, because you never built a network with those artists you are working with. Shout out to Grim TV. He spoke about a very important line: let your network determine your net worth. In simple terms, here's how it works. As an artist, firstly build up a catalog of music which your upcoming fans can listen to when they want to check you out. You know why this is important?
No, bro. Why?
Imagine a fan hears you on a record you are featured on, then they want to check out your old music. How are they going to find out about you if you don't have a catalog? That way you stand a higher chance of being neglected by a fan. Secondly, build up a network of artists and fellow colleagues which will serve you well in your career. Lastly, accumulate fans with prospective persons you are collaborating with, which leads to a guaranteed new set of ears that will listen to your music after hearing you on a feature. All those steps have no record labels involved in them, so I guess following those 3 steps, you can use record labels to your advantage. But the sad part is that record labels don't do everything for you. Hence we have artists like Lucas Raps, who is signed to Def Jam, and Kid Tini, who was once signed under Ambitious, being where they are at today. So kill that idea of thinking that the label does everything for you. Labels work to your advantage when you have shown that you have a catalog. You can create your own network and collaborate with more artists. You can have the label putting you in the same room as T.I., Ari Lennox and A$AP Ferg, and be able to use that feature to your advantage. So with that being said, that sums up the strategy to making it to mainstream as a new artist. Many people like Nota believe that the international features didn't work to Nasty C's advantage, but it turns out that to him, they actually worked for him, and this is what he had to say.
Right now, how do you then define success of an album? So if you've dropped something and Nota's like, I think it's whack, does it matter to you? Or do you look at sales and go, I'm happy with it? Or do you just have to appease yourself and be like, great?
It depends on what I wanted to do with the album. See, that's another thing. These people want to come and judge. They don't even know what your plan was in the first place. I know what I wanted to do with the album. My album and the whole title and the logo, the whole aesthetic, everything. The shit I say in the interviews. Saw a plan that ties in with the album. What I'm trying to do is, I'm going global, but at the same time, I'm trying to make sure that as I do that, people know who I am, they know where I come from, they know what I rep, and it's not too hard or too harsh for them to digest. They can still say, okay, cool. His music is actually fucking fire though. Like, I understand everything he's saying. Is he really Zulu? Oh shit. Oh yeah, there is this song where he rapping Zulu. I wonder, what's his Steve Biko? Let me do some more research. And that has done that. It has done that. Do you know what I mean? My album went #1 in the world. I've never had any #1 anything in the world ever in my life. That album did exactly what I wanted it to do, bro. Like, it did exactly what I wanted it to do. For me, it doesn't make sense to even entertain what Nota has to say. It's like, what have you done? Like, what have you done that outshines my shit because you feel like my shit is trash? Like, like, show me something. Like,
so why does somebody have to have done something that outshines your work in order to critique it? And I'll tell you why. Because some of the best critics, for example, maybe have never written the book.
No, but
they can definitely give you a review on it.
But it's not like he just came at me and said the album is trash and pay.
Yeah, I mean, Nota's just an example. I'm not speaking about him specifically. I'm talking about now. You're talking about critics as a whole. You know.
Yeah, well, that's different. But in this case, it's because he first of all, he thought he understood what I was trying to do with the album, why it was called Zulu Man with Some Power. He thought it was just going to be Zulu on Zulu on Zulu, like, do you know what I mean? And he's like, you failed to do that. There's only one song in Zulu and it's just one verse and it's not even educational. The song about Steve Beagle. First of all, who told you the song was about Steve Beagle? The title is Steve Beagle. Yes, the song's not about Steve Beagle. It's not a fucking book. It's not chapters, bro. It's like I title the song whatever I want to title it so that it could catch the attention. You know what I mean? Sometimes for different reasons. Sometimes just because that word is very repetitive in the song. You know what I mean? And yeah, nah, he's coming with the know-it-all. Nah, you couldn't do what you thought you were doing with this album. You said you were gonna do this, and it's like, but I did, and you don't know what you're talking about. You know what I mean? So if you're gonna act like you have all these points and you're so sure that this was supposed to happen and this person didn't do it, they fell short and this and that, then you're nobody to critique anything because you don't understand the core of it. You don't understand why it was made, how it was made, how long.
You don't have the full context.
You don't know what you're talking about. You just talking.
A lot of people actually ended up questioning Nasty C's album, Zulu Man with Some Power, so much. Till date, a lot of people still think that Nasty C's worst album is Zulu Man with Some Power. And with the new Nasty C album, I Love It Here, do you guys think that Nasty C is still trying to cater for the US market? Is it still trying to sound American according to you guys? What's actually left for Nasty C to prove? I'd like to believe that he has cemented his name enough in the game as one of the best artists in SA. But will he ever stop improving his sound? Comment your thoughts down below. And that is the end of the video. Please like the video and subscribe to the channel for more. Peace out.